Citizen Super App covers digital identity, digital services, digital payment, data exchange. Digital ID can complete identity authentication safely, conveniently.
We start here in the UK on an issue that's divided the country over the last few decades. Every adult will need a new government-issued digital ID to prove they live and can work here. Well, and the plans to be announced by the Prime Minister on Friday. The move is part of efforts to crack down on illegal working. Most European countries already require their citizens to hold ID cards, but the UK has long resisted, with concerns over civil rights and privacy issues. Here's our political correspondent, Ian Watson.
ID cards are not a new idea. They were compulsory during the war and not abolished until 1952. The idea was revived in 2005 by Tony Blair's government.
Look into the mirror.
The then Home Secretary was seeing how these biometric cards would work. They were supposed to tackle illegal working and establish entitlement to public services, but the scheme faced technical challenges and political opposition and hadn't been implemented by the time of the 2010 election, when the Conservative Lib Dem coalition scrapped them. And now the idea has been revived under this Labour government. Ministers have been looking at a digital ID scheme in Estonia in Eastern Europe, which is used to access public services. And they believe that attitudes towards ID cards have softened as concerns about illegal immigration have risen. The government's direction of travel has been clear for some time. Earlier this month, Keir Starmer told the BBC why he thought they were a good idea.
I'm determined to stop people making that crossing across the channel and to get people out of our hotels. And therefore I am looking at ID cards or digital ID, because we do need to look at the pull factors.
The Prime Minister believes this is an important weapon in his armoury to tackle illegal immigration, but his idea is creating clear blue water between government and opposition.
Keir Starmer scrapped the Rwanda removals plan without having any other plan in place. He said he was going to smash the gangs. He hasn't done that. Digital ID cards is not going to smash the gangs or stop the boats.
I fear this is a bit like what they tried to do before, where it's authoritarian, where it's centralised, where it's controlled by the state, and we should oppose that like we did before.
In what's being called Orwellian, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer just announced mandatory digital IDs. Take a look.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
British civil rights activist Emily Emanuel joins us now. So Emily, what was your reaction to Starmer's announcement?
Well, really, truly, completely shocked, but also not surprised. Keir Starmer has been a terrible, terrible prime minister right from the beginning. And I've never seen actually the UK population in such uproar against a prime minister in the time that I can remember anyway. So I am not surprised that he's trying to pull something out the bag that will try and get him some popular votes, although it's probably going to be completely the opposite. And if you didn't see, or I don't know if you've touched on this already, but there was a march a couple of weeks ago that had over 1 million people come along to it, which was in protest of these things that he's implementing and the state of how the state of the UK is at the moment with illegal immigration, with just this high kind of control of government. And so there's almost like a revolution going on in the ground in the UK at the moment, because people are just sick and tired of these policies that he's implementing.
Well, you know, what's interesting is, obviously he made this announcement and he painted it in a way that this would help curb illegal immigration. But a lot of people online are saying, wait a second, you're saying these digital IDs where you won't be able to, buy or sell, sounds a lot like what we hear in Revelation 13 when it comes to the mark of the beast. People are wondering, is this like a precursor to that? So let me just read what the Bible actually says about that, and then you can draw the dots together if you think they fit. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. Then the next verse says, "This calls for wisdom." So it does. I mean, it does seem like a precursor, right? You cannot work without said digital ID. Obviously, I will let you, my friend who's watching this, connect the dots if you think that they are there. But Emily, can you just maybe peel back the onion a little bit more? What's kind of the sentiment of British folks when it comes to this illegal immigration? Obviously, he says this digital ID, Freudian slip, is intended to curb illegal immigration. But what's the status like of the British people's mentality when it comes to the current state of affairs when it comes to immigration?
Well, first of all, I find it incredibly hard to believe that this digital ID has anything to do with illegal immigration, because when I have had a job in the UK many times, I've had to show my social security number and my passport. So I've had to prove my right to work in the UK. So this doesn't make sense that we need a digital ID to prove our right to work in the UK when we already have systems in place that allow us to do so. Now, many of these illegal immigrant workers, and I've known some when I've lived in the UK, they don't work normal jobs. They work cash in hand jobs. So, you don't actually have to go through the system and pay taxes and all that kind of stuff. So that's not the issue. The issue isn't going to stop. The illegal immigration isn't going to stop because there's a digital ID in place. They will find out ways to work. And if not, they will find out ways to receive money from the government. So it's not going to stop anything like that. All it is going to put another form of control over the people in the UK, which the people are currently rebelling against at the moment. So the general sentiment amongst the people I know, but from news media outlets, is that this is not something that they want to see. If you want to stop illegal immigration, there are other ways to do that. Make a secure border, number one. I mean, that is what America is doing at the moment, which I totally agree with. And that is something that can be implemented. The UK isn't a big country. There is many ways to secure the border. And so I think this is a complete control tactic. And I think just along with other things that are happening in the world, such as, AI and then eventually super AI, we are heading towards that end time scenario.
When shall these things be? And what shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled? Take heed lest any man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. And the gospel must first be published among all nations. But when they shall lead you and deliver you up, take no thought beforehand what ye shall speak, neither do ye premeditate. But whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that speak ye. For it is not ye that speak, but the Holy Ghost. Now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son. And children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.